Hello world, welcome back. It's too good to see your smiling faces. In today's project, we are going to implement this functionality where when we change the value of this slider, the circle's size gets adjusted accordingly. So let's get started. Okay guys, so on the right I have Firefox editor opened up with live server running on it. And on the left we have Sublime text editor with 4 files: index.html, style.css, main.js and design.txt. Design.txt contains some of the colors and fonts that we'll be using in this project. Let's get back to index.html. Here we have a title. Let's call it controlling circle size with a slider, followed by 2 meta tags. Then there's a link tag that links style.css to index.html, and then we have a script tag that links main.js to index.html. So let's get started with the HTML part. For this project we'll need a bunch of div tags. First one, let's create a container, followed by we'll need another div and we'll give it a class of circle. This will style later on in the style.css to have a shape of a circle. Following that we'll have another div tag and we'll give it a class of slider container. This will contain the slider, and let's also put a p tag that will kind of describe what the function of slider is. So let's put emoji of down pointing finger, which will kind of indicate that you need to adjust size from the slider that is on the, just rotate it down the text. Okay, so we can have a slider. We can put a slider using an input tag with the type of range. We'll also give it a class so that we'll be able to get this element in the JavaScript later on. We'll get a class of slider hyphen input. Okay, we have our slider and we have our text. So that's all from the HTML point of view. Let's go ahead and move to style.css, where we'll style all these elements. First we'll do some basic styling as always. Box sizing, border box, body. That body will make it display flex. Style content center, align item center, height will give it 100 viewport height, and margins will be 0. Let's also put a background color. Background color will pick this color. Okay. Now let's style our circle. If you remember, this was the class that we had given to this div tag. So let's just style it. Circle will have height of 100 pixel, width of 100 pixel. So that will give us a shape of square. Now if you put a border radius of 50%, that should give us a circle. It's not visible yet because we don't have any color. Let's put that color, background color of this one. Okay, let's also put some shadow to it. So for that we'll use box shadow, 3 pixel, 3 pixel, 5 pixel, and we'll give it a color of, it's a bit darker color. Okay, so that's all we need from circle class. Now let's go ahead and style our slider input. So the class name for the slider input was this one. Sorry, let's style our slider container so that everything, the text also moves with it. Okay, we'll make it position absolute, and let's move to the top with offset of 20 pixel. and left also with the offset of 20 pixel. Okay, so that will move our slider container to the top left. Following that, let's give it a background color. Background color will give it off this one, which is same as the circle's shadow. Okay, let's remove margins from the p tag. So if you inspect p tag here, inspect this element, which is a p tag, you see there is margin on top and bottom. So I don't want that margin, I just want a bottom margin. So let's just do that. Margin 0, margin bottom, let's give 10 pixel. Okay, for the slider container, let's put some padding, 20 pixel. Okay, and let's center everything. Again, let's make it a display flex. Align item center, justify content center, and flex direction of column. That's much better. And for the, okay, let's also give it a border radius to the slider container, so looks better. Border radius of 10 pixel. Okay, and we'll give this thing also a bunch of shadows. So we'll use box shadow, again 3 pixel, down 3 pixel, 5 pixel, 2 pixel, and then we'll give it a color of this one. It's a bit dark color, comma. Okay, so this will give it a shadow on the down right. Now I also want to give it another shadow on the top left. So we can do that using comma, and we'll have to give -3 pixel, -3 pixel, 5 pixel, 2 pixel, and we'll give this thing a color of this. It's a brighter color. See, this gives it a little bit of a, like a 3D effect. Okay, now let's also change the font family. I don't like this font family that we have right now, so we'll just copy paste this one. It's a Google font called Cooling Park, which I like, so I just use it in all the projects. And let's put it in the body. So it's a font family Cooling Park, and if that doesn't load, we'll use sans serif. Okay, let's also change the color of the font to white. Make it color white, and font size to, let's say, 20 pixel. Much better. Okay, so that's all from the sliding point of view. Let's go to main.js and implement the sizing functionality. So to do that, first we'll need both the circle element and the slider element. So let's get that. Const circle element equal to document dot query selector, and we'll use the circle class. Okay, let's also get the slider. So the slider element equal to document dot query selector, slider input. Let's see if we got both of this element. We'll just log it to the console. So console.log circle element comma slider element. Okay, let's inspect. Yeah, there we have our circle element and the slider element. Okay, let's get rid of this thing. Now to change the size of circle based on sliders adjustment, we'll add a event listener to the slider element. Slider element dot add listener, and it will be of the type input. So every time there is a change in input from the slider, this event gets triggered. Comma, we'll pass in the event also, so that we will be able to query the value of the slider. So let's just check that. We'll log to the console. Event dot target dot value. Let's see if we are getting those values, and you know what's the range of the values. Oh, so we are getting that value. We go all the way to the left, we have value of 0, and if we go all the way to the right, we have value of 100. So that we need to keep that in mind, because the sizing of the circle, we use a scale transform that takes value with the, the range starts at 0, right? 0 to 1 is where it's sizing is same as what it is defined in the styling, and then you go to 2, it's like 100% increase. So we need to keep that in mind. And okay, now we don't need this. We'll let's use the value from the slider input and give it as a transform to circle elements. So we'll do that. Circle element dot style dot transform. This transform equal to. We'll again use template strings and scale. Inside that we'll put the event dot target dot value, but as I told you, the value is having a range of 0 to 100. So let's just divide it by 50. That will be suitable for the values that scale can take. Let's see if this functionality is working. Yeah, we have. So if we go all the way to the right, we'll have value of 100. 100 divided by 50 will give it the value of 2. So circle will be bigger by almost 100%. And then if you go all the way to the left, it will be 0. Okay. Somewhere in the middle, we'll have value of 1. So let's just also put that inside the circle, so we'll be able to see that. So circle element dot inner HTML equal to same thing. Okay, use this full thing. There we have the value. But let's just move it to the center. We'll go to style.css and we'll make circle also a flex element. So for that we'll do display flex, align item center, justify content center. Okay, that looks much better. Okay guys, so that's all from this video. Let me know what do you think about this project. Let me know in the comments if you will do anything different, what all changes you would make to this project to make it even better. So that's all guys. I hope to see you in the tomorrow's video. Thank you.